One small step, one giant crack. The moon shakes too. No, the moon is not a silent, lifeless rock. It experiences moonquakes, and some of them can fracture the surface and release gases. For the Apollo astronauts, landing on the moon meant entering a world that was both strange and mysterious. National Moon Day commemorates the moment when humanity first set foot on this alien landscape. 1. The moon experiences seismic activity known as moonquakes. Some of these tremors can create cracks in the lunar surface, allowing gases to escape. To the Apollo astronauts, the moon's landscape felt both unfamiliar and enigmatic. 2. National Moon Day is celebrated on July 20th, marking the historic moment in 1969 when Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon. His famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," became part of history. Shortly afterward, Buzz Aldrin became the second person to set foot on the lunar surface. 3. This achievement was made possible by the goals set by President John F. Kennedy in 1961 to land a human on the moon and return them safely to Earth before the end of the decade. Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on July 16, 1969, entered lunar orbit on July 19, and on July 20, the lunar module Eagle successfully landed on the moon, while millions around the world watched the historic event unfold. 4. National Moon Day is more than a celebration of that small step. It honors the spirit of scientific exploration, teamwork, and peaceful international progress that made this technological triumph possible. That same spirit continues to push humanity farther into the universe. After astronauts deployed seismometers during the Apollo missions, scientists confirmed that the moon truly shakes. Some moonquakes lasted for more than an hour because the moon's dry, rigid interior transmits vibrations very efficiently. There are 4 main types of moonquakes: deep moonquakes caused by Earth's tidal forces, shallow moonquakes, thermal moonquakes triggered by temperature changes after sunrise, and impacts caused by meteorites. Because the moon has virtually no atmosphere, astronauts' footprints can remain preserved for millions of years unless they are disturbed by meteorite impacts. Although there is no wind, temperatures on the moon range from about plus 127 degrees Celsius (260 degrees Fahrenheit) during the day to minus 173 degrees Celsius minus 280 degrees Fahrenheit at night, placing enormous stress on rocks and soil. The moon is moving away from Earth by approximately 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches, every year, a fact confirmed using laser reflectors that still remain on its surface. Lunar gravity is only about 1/6 that of Earth, which is why astronauts appear to hop rather than walk normally. Moon dust is extremely fine and abrasive. It clung to spacesuits and equipment, and astronauts reported that it smelled similar to burnt gunpowder after they returned inside the lunar module. The moon's far side has a noticeably thicker crust than the near side and contains far fewer dark volcanic plains known as lunar maria. Modern research has confirmed the presence of water ice inside permanently shadowed craters near the lunar poles. This resource could become essential for future human exploration. Without an atmosphere to slow incoming objects, even tiny meteoroids strike the lunar surface at tremendous speeds, constantly creating new craters. The moon is not a completely geologically dead world. Ongoing seismic activity and surface faults suggest it is still slowly shrinking as it cools, producing young cliffs and scarps across its surface. During the Apollo 11 mission, astronauts collected about 21.5 kilograms, 47 pounds, of lunar material. Across all Apollo missions, a total of 382 kilograms, 842 pounds, of moon rocks and soil were brought back to Earth. Neil Armstrong's famous quote, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," remains one of the most iconic statements of the 20th century. From Earth, we almost always see the same side of the moon because its rotation period matches its orbital period around our planet, a phenomenon known as tidal locking. Together, these facts show that Earth's natural satellite is far more than a lifeless sphere of rock. It is a dynamic and fascinating world that scientists continue to study and explore. Full moon. The moon is shrinking. As its interior gradually cools, it slowly contracts, creating long cliffs and faults on the surface that resemble giant wrinkles. New moon, the far side of the moon, is exceptionally quiet in terms of radio interference. Shielded from Earth's radio noise, it is considered an ideal location for future radio telescopes. Rocket hundreds of human-made objects remain on the moon. These include landing modules, scientific instruments, flags, lunar rovers, laser reflectors, and even golf balls left behind by astronauts. Dashing away the sky on the moon is always black. Even during the lunar daytime, the absence of an atmosphere prevents it from appearing blue as it does on Earth. Globe showing Europe, Africa, a total solar eclipse on Earth occurs when the moon passes directly in front of the sun. Because the apparent sizes of the moon and the sun are remarkably similar in our sky, we can witness this spectacular event. Hourglass not done a lunar day is extremely long. From one sunrise to the next, about 29.5 Earth days pass, meaning daylight and darkness each last roughly 2 weeks. Telescope the moon's largest impact basin is the South Pole, Aitken Basin. Stretching more than 2,400 kilometers, 1,500 miles, across, it is one of the largest known impact craters in the solar system. Gemstones, some lunar rocks are older than most rocks on Earth. They are more than 4 billion years old and provide valuable clues about the early history of the solar system. Waterwave, the moon controls Earth's tides. Its gravitational pull raises and lowers ocean levels every day and even causes slight deformations in Earth's crust. Satellite, without the moon, Earth's days would be much shorter. The gravitational interaction between the two bodies gradually slows Earth's rotation, increasing the length of a day over time. Snowflake, some permanently shadowed craters near the lunar poles have not seen sunlight for billions of years. They are among the coldest places in the solar system. During the Apollo missions, astronauts installed laser reflectors on the moon. Scientists still bounce laser beams off these reflectors to measure the Earth-Moon distance with remarkable precision. Magnet, the moon has almost no global magnetic field. As a result, its surface is poorly protected from cosmic radiation and the solar wind. Shooting star, thousands of micrometeorites strike the moon every year. With no dense atmosphere to burn them up, even tiny particles reach the surface and slowly reshape it. Footprints, only 12 people have ever walked on the moon. All of them were astronauts from NASA's Apollo program between 1969 and 1972. Satellite antenna, from the moon's near side, Earth would appear almost stationary in the sky. It would go through phases and exhibit a slight wobble due to a phenomenon known as libration. Satellite, the first photographs of the moon's far side were taken by the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3 in 1959, revealing a part of the moon that humanity had never seen before. Cheese wedge, the myth that the moon is made of cheese has existed for centuries. It remains one of the world's most famous folk tales, even though the moon is actually composed of rock and dust.